Linux commands for iPhone users. Make sure your iSH app is installed. You can go to the App Store, look for an application, iSH shell. Okay, this first one, I have mine installed already, so I'll just open, but just get it installed on your end. And if you are opening this for the first time, I will suggest that you update the package list and you upgrade the installed packages as well using the apk command. Okay, this is Alpine Linux installed on your iPhone. Apk updates. Okay, so apk updates, return. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is to upgrade the installed packages. So apk upgrade, apk upgrade. Now we can move on to the Linux commands proper. The first set of commands we are going to cover are system info commands. Okay, if you want to show the type of OS that you are currently on, you can use the uname command. You can see I'm on Linux, but if you want to get full system details like the kernel, the version, the arch, and all that, uname, then you pass the A flag. Pass the A flag. You can see Linux, you can see so many other information. Now if you want to get the current username of the user logged into the system, so just who I you see that is a root, so this is basically the root user that is currently in the system. So let's now move on to file and directory basics. So the commands particular to file and directories. If you want to show the current working directory, the current directory that you are in, you can use pwd. You see, I'm in the root directory. Okay, if you want to list out the files in the root directory or in the current directory you are in, just ls. And you see I'm currently in I have my folder and test.txt in this particular directory. Now the reason I'm having these two is because I've done a bit of work in this Linux environment before. On your end it might be empty, so don't fret. If you want to get more information about this, the contents of this particular directory, you can pass the L flag. So ls, you pass the L flag, and you see I have more information about the user, the permissions, and all that. So let's just move on. If you want to get the hidden files, you can do ls, so you pass the A flag. Okay, to get the hidden files, you can see the hidden files, the Python history, ash history, and all that. So you may not be getting Python history on your end. Like I said, I've done a bit of work on this particular Linux installation. So if you want to create a new folder, you can use mkdir command. Mkdir, then the name of the folder. You can do something like new folder. Okay, new folder. So ls, you see now I have new folder. So that is it. If I want to change directory into the new folder I just created, cd, and you change directory into that particular folder. So just specify the folder, new folder, and you return. You see now I'm in new folder. So that is it. If I want to go back one step behind, cd, then, and you can see I'm one step behind. So I'm in the parent directory rather, but let me just go into the current directory for this particular tutorial. If you want to create an empty file, just an empty file, nothing, no too much noise, just create the file and the file will be there. Just touch, you can use the touch command, and you can call it maybe file.txt. That is the name of the file you want to create. So ls, you can see file.txt. So that is that about that. Then we have the file editing commands. Okay, we have the echo that you can use to print text to the terminal. You can also use echo to append text to a particular text file, or you overwrite the text in the text file. We'll demonstrate the two of them. So echo hello hello world. So echo hello world. You see I'm getting hello world back on the terminal. Okay, so the next thing I might want to do is to use currently if I do something like if I want to check the content of file.txt of any file that I have, I can just use the cat command, cat file.txt. You see, currently the file is empty, so I can do echo, then I can do something like hello from Linux, hello from Linux, then I will echo it into file.txt. Okay, so let me do cat file.txt. You see, now I'm having hello from Linux. Okay, now if I want to overwrite hello from Linux, I can just do something like echo now overwrite content, overwrite content. Okay, and that overwrite content, I'll just come place this and then file.txt. So if I do cat file.txt, you see overwrite content. So you can see that I used this particular command to overwrite what was in the file.txt file initially. Now what if I want to append to it? I don't want to overwrite the content, I want to append instead. So I can just do the same thing I did initially, echo, then I can do something like this is line 2, then I'll close this, then now this arrow right, instead of using one, this time I'll be using two, then I'll just pass file dot txt. Okay, file dot txt return cat file dot txt. You see I have overwrite content, now I have this is line 2. Okay, so both of them are they are valid ways to append or to just manage the text content of a particular file. So whichever one works for you, you are good to go. Let's now talk about file management commands. The first one we are going to be working on is the cp command. Okay, which is the command you can use to copy your file. So if I do something like ls and I have file.txt, I can do something like cp file.txt. Now I'll specify the name of the file, the target file. So I can do something like backup, no, backup.txt, backup.txt. So ls, you see now I have backup.txt. I can now decide to do cat backup.txt just to be sure that I have the same content in the two files, and you can see I have the same content, so that works. Now the next thing that we want to do is to use the mv command to either move a file or to rename an existing file. So for this to work, let me make a new directory and call it new. Okay, ls. So you can see that I have this new folder, I have backup.txt, and I have file.txt. So the first one I'm going to be doing is to use okay, let me rename this file first. Instead of having backup.txt, let me just have content.txt. So I can use mv, then the initial name backup.txt, then I'll call it content.txt, ls. Now you see that I'm not having backup.txt anymore. Now I'm having content.txt. So if I do something like cat content.txt return, you can see I'm having I preserve the content. I only changed the name. Okay. Now what if I want to move content.txt into this new folder, this new folder that I just created? Very simple. I can just say mv, then I'll pass in content, then I'll bring in the target folder new, but I'll have to pass this as well. So ls, you see I'm not having content.txt anymore. Let me ls that new folder. You can see this content.txt now exists in the new folder that I moved it into. So that is that about that. So for the rm command, we use it to delete files. Okay, you can use it to delete files or folders, and I'll show you how to do the two. For now, let me cd into new ls. So I want to delete content.txt, rm, then content.txt, ls. You see the content, the new folder is now empty because I initially I was having content.txt, but now I don't have any file anymore. So let me cd into the parent directory. Now let me use that rm command to also remove this folder. Rm, now I have to pass the r flag, then I'll specify the name of the folder, ls. You see, I don't have the new folder anymore. So we also have some other commands, like if you want to clean the terminal, if the terminal is becoming too messy for you, you can just clear the terminal using the clear command. You see, the terminal is now clear. If you want to show the current date time, you can use the date command. You can see the current date time when I'm recording this tutorial. I think this is UTC. This is 1 hour behind me. So then if you want to view the command history, you can do something like history. You can see the command history. Okay, you can see the command history. It's even preserving as much as 128, so you can see the command history. Just scroll up, you see your command history. But if you want to exit to close the iSH, just exit, and you see you have closed that particular session. So that is it basically. You can check out our full Linux tutorial for iPhone users. It covers pretty much way more than what we've covered in this tutorial for iSH for iPhone or iPad users. So you can just check it out for more lessons about this, about Linux on iPhone. So don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next tutorial. Bye for now.